Sweet Caroline, bum bum bum. Good times never seem so good. No? No one's feeling it? Uh-oh, let me explain, because I felt it last week, and this week I got more confirmation. Week 34, traders. A few things I want to get to the top of the list here. I have got to shorten these videos. I'm taking the monthly out of a few of them. Monthly doesn't change that much. They're the most important charts, but I'm at war with a groundhog right now, and this mother's drew first blood. So you got a den full of mothballs this morning, and I need to do something about this. Al, I have not forgot about you. I've been in contact with Al all week, sending him my Neil Diamond lyrics, and he's been calling me crazy, so nothing's changed. I know the guy's still alive. I was going to go into a defibrillator story here, but I got to do something about this damn groundhog. It's killing me. Shortened video. I'm going to break format on the way I've been doing things. I want to take a look at Home Depot for their earnings and make a future call, trying to anticipate and prove a point. Dad, I'm not telling the future. Done a great job with thumbing me down every time I say something stupid about, telling the future or something. This is about anticipation, psychology, how you feel about something, why we can both look at the same thing and one person thinks one person thinks the other. I'm still going to try and tackle on the topics about when buyers and sellers step in. I think it's highly important. Okay, I'm going to break format this week with Home Depot. Somebody last year asked me about brought up the subject of Home Depot, and she was doing very well in it. I don't remember who it is, and I want to respect people's privacy anyways, so it doesn't matter. I believe I told her there's no way in the world I would buy Home Depot at the point last year because it was overbought and it was running straight up. And then I said to her, if you're in it, enjoy the ride. That's great. So here comes my point about earnings now. We take a look at Home Depot's volume from Friday, and we could see that it's more than the average daily volume by a substantial amount. So we could see a lot of eyes on it. Then I look at the 10-year chart for Home Depot, and the last oversold area was in 2007 or 8. So we've had a 10-year run-up on this, and if you've been in this, God bless you, enjoy it. And please do not, this is just my opinion, do not base your decision on this. I've looked at this for the first time since last year simply because the earnings. And you can see that we don't have support on the 20. It's running up. Home Depot has now exited the overbought area. It's at 74.36. And my whole point to this, at some point, any stock needs to come back down to the oversold level. This one's done and it just ran for 10 years. So be it. But at some point, it's going to come down. So then I take a look at the earnings, and it says Home Depot's strong second quarter 2017 earnings still have investors wary. How? Okay, they beat earnings. They're raising guidance. For the past 10 years, it's been going up. And who are these investors? I have learned anytime I see these stories about investors, can you become more vague? Honest to God, the guys in the pit are not talking to investors. They're taking their order and they're on to the next person, yelling like a madhouse. No one's pulling this shit. I can guarantee that. So, although I have no idea what Home Depot is going to do, it could go up for the next 10 years as far as I know. But my point is, there's no way in hell I would buy a stock that looks like this. So just for fun, what I'm going to do is watch Home Depot. Maybe every month we'll take a look at it. Because it's exiting the overbought area, because I cannot draw up a point or a trend line, the beginning of a trend line from one point to another. My personal opinion, and nobody listen to this is just for fun. First time I'm looking at this in a long time, so don't make any judgments on it. But I think even with the earnings report that Home Depot had, raising guidance, everything looks great, everything's going so well. And just to be fair, I did not read the entire article. That headline caught my attention, and every time I look at headlines with investors think, I throw it away. It means nothing to me. So just for fun, I think Home Depot is going to be pulling back, and I'm looking towards the 138.78 20 EMA for its first target, and we'll take it from there. Who knows? Don't listen to me. I'm just having a little bit of fun here trying to prove a point. That's it. Here's AG's daily chart. Let's take a look at the big picture from April 2016 till now. Got my trend lines in here. Let's draw in the oversold areas. Let's count how many hits on that lower trend line. That's important for us. I know a few people have been very concerned about the past week and what's been going on. And what I think is going on is that this is a trend change. I don't have the earnings in mind. I couldn't care less. We've already looked at Home Depot and how great that stock is. I do not have that belief that earnings are going to tell the future about the stocks either. Just like my strategy will not. I'm trying to anticipate from what I've learned in the past. I think we're going to get a better view of what's going on when we look at a close-up at the end of the chart here in the past couple months. So let's take a closer look at the part that we're most concerned with here. Let's concentrate on approximately the last 3 weeks since that bad earnings call. I see the knee-jerk reaction to sell off, and we've got our oversold area. We can now see that last week we went back down there and found support on that lower trend line once again, and pretty damn close to that oversold level. That is giving buyers more confidence now to step in. It's testing that trend line over and over again, and this is what buyers love. They love seeing this. Sellers are starting to get scared out. In the past couple weeks here, this is a battle between buyers and sellers. They're going back and forth. AG's been going down for a while now, and at some point the sellers, the short sellers, have to take their profits, and at some point the buyers are going to become confident enough to start stepping in strong. I like the way the futures look, and I like the way this looks. One topic I have tried to avoid over the past 8-9 months, I'm trying to talk about what's happened as in the past, and just trying to analyze things. Ooh, I'm an analyst now. I'm trying to be real careful about what I say, and thank you, Dad, for every time I say something wrong and it seems like I'm trying to tell the future, you correct me, and I do appreciate that. But it is now time, and I'm going to try and say this very carefully. This is what I'm anticipating. I'm not trying to tell the future. I'm anticipating something here, and this is what I would like to see to help everyone else who might be in this. Al, my dad, I am looking for, now that we have good support on that lower trend line, I want to see buyers step in here. I see it happening in the futures. We are exiting the oversold area, and part of the process now that I'm going to be looking for is that buyers are going to step in big. We have that gap right up above us near the 730 area. That's going to become resistance for the buyers. You might see a little hesitation in this area, maybe a little bit confusion. It's going to break through the 20, maybe come back, find support on the 20. It might just go straight through that upper trend line. I have no way of knowing. Even though I do not know, I do have years of experience watching these patterns play out, and it's taught me a lot. And now here we have a picture of the squiggly lines going back and forth, and what I'm trying to show you is that the goal now, what we are looking for, when you see the price of AG finally break above that upper trend line, it might be around the 745 area, maybe all the way back down to the $7 area, all depending on how long it takes, because it's at an angle. We would like to see the stock find support then. After breaking through, come back down. We should then be in a 20 EMA, 200 EMA squeeze above that upper trend line, and then that's when the breakout's going to happen. I have no way of knowing time in the market. It opens at 9:30, closes at 4. Everything else is a guess. So we want to see this happen. When you see this happen, Dad, I'm calling you out. You haven't listened to me in 30, 40 years, and you've been right. Okay, it's a wash. I'll give it to you, as if I couldn't. This is the time I want to give back to you. When you see this happen, smile. You taking a position, just keep it in there and watch it pile up. Silver futures daily chart. I remember saying last week that we were pushing up that trend line, and what I was looking for was for the price, the value, to come back, find support on the 20 and the 50 EMA, and that's exactly what happened 2 days after I said it. You could see 2 days after that arrow, the price drops, goes below the 20 and the 50, and then buyers step back in. Buyers seen that as a blue light special. They liked it. They bought. The closing price ended up on top of the 20 and the 50, so it looks to me as if we found support on that 20. Buyers stepped in the next day when it went back down again, found support on the 50, came in huge. The following 2 days, just been a consolidation. Friday, we even went above the 200 EMA. One of the larger resistance areas. Went above it. Buyers took their profits for the end of the week once again. This is an accumulation of buyers. I see this trend going skyward. The stochastics have now turned back up. They're buying and buying. The MACD indicators, the MACD indicators turned up. Relative strengths growing. Guys, this is not, you're not looking at futures that are dying here. This is an accumulation of buyers over and over again. Every time it drops, they're stepping in. I could not have more confidence in this. It's just a matter of time before we break through that trend line and go on a bull market run. Here's DO's daily chart. I apologize, I'm going to be short, try and save some time. It looks to me like I was wrong again. Oh, huge surprise. Oversold in June. I was saying possibly a double bottom in July. I think we have that now in August due to the oil futures. Wait till we look at this. Let's just go there, right? It looks great. For the crude oil futures, I definitely want to show you the weekly chart. Look how far over the past week, when you've seen the price of DO drop, and I'm sure you were scared, and they're like, oh, here comes the sell-off again. And this is what the market is trying to do to you. It's playing head games with you. Expect this. This is going to happen every single week, every single day, every single month. As many times as it possibly can, it wants to change your psychology, make you think something's going to happen, even with bad earnings and these stories, and you get the wrong information. Take a look at that last candlestick. Look how far we went down throughout the week. And then buyers are seeing the accumulation coming in. They see the bullishness of this. And whenever it happened last week, those buyers stepped in huge. When I show you the daily chart, it's going to be obvious. All the way up till, I think it was Friday. Yeah, Friday. Daily chart for the crude oil futures. You can see, look at that last candlestick again. I'm going to draw in the oversold area here. Just 5 days ago, I was saying hit the launch button, and you witnessed it in DO's price. So the futures pulled back, DO pulled back. We got what seems to be a double bottom now in DO, and the buyers waited till Friday. The market here is going to screw with your head again. this is normal. And you can see on that last day we broke above the 200 once again. It was nothing but a head game. We are oversold. I'm going to draw in a trend line now because we have two oversold areas. This looks great, guys. Next week I'll dive into it further when I've got some more time and I do something about this groundhog. We're back above resistance in one day. That was a huge day. If you were just sitting there watching DO, you'd probably be sweating to death. I was watching the futures. The futures broke over resistance again, what seems to be no problem. And it just seemed to me be nothing but a head game. I'm not going to get fooled by this. One day, go ahead, you check the earnings. Look at stuff that's 3 months old. I got up to the date minute by minute here, and this is showing me, look out above. Here it comes, baby. Strap in tight. I have zero doubts. US dollar monthly chart. I'm going to show a little bit more on this. I've called this from December 2016. I couldn't be more positive. Here's stochastics are still not oversold on the monthly. This is the long-term outlook. 26.77. Sellers, this is going to attract more sellers than it will buyers. Buyers want to wait till the stochastics get underneath 20. It's not there yet. The MACD indicator turning down. As soon as it gets below that divergence line, we're looking for a long-term outlook with a long-term downward trend. If that MACD gets below that divergence line, you can see in that last monthly candlestick, they're now in the process of selling it. It's reached the high. Sellers have started stepping in. Still got a little bit more time in the month. Let's take a look at the weekly. US dollar weekly chart. The only thing I want to point out here is that the closing price on the green candlesticks are getting lower and lower. We've gone down. I'm not sure if we actually tagged that 200 EMA. I'd like this, if you're looking for support on that 200 EMA, I'd like to see a closing price on it. I'm looking for the value of the USD just to drop through the 200 EMA. We pushed up against that yellow horizontal 20-year support resistance trend line. Stochastics are embedded in the oversold area. They're just going back and forth. MACD is below divergence line. I see nothing but weakness. US dollar daily chart. I've got a larger outlook here. You guys might remember from the other week's charts about that green trend line. That's my target for the US dollar. I think sellers are going to keep hitting it and drive that value down. I think that's their target. My dad said something to me last week about hoping that the US dollar's got a longer way to fall for AG. Here you go, Dad. This is what I see. We've dropped approximately 6% since retesting that upward wedge pattern. I'm still expecting another 16% down. I remember telling Al all week about this, just trying to keep him in the game, keep his head in the game. There's a lot to go here. I don't know at which point you see this huge move in silver compared to the dollar, but this is a substantial move right here. This is going to bring a lot of sellers. I believe it's going to have a beneficial effect on the silver and even energy. It's all right here. This is the key, baby. We cannot get on top of that 20-day moving average. You see the repetition here. Every time it hits earlier in the game, in December, it got on top of the 20 but failed to find support. A month or so ago, we had 4 failed attempts. Now it's, keep your eye open. I'm positive this thing's going down. I'm positive. I cannot be more confident. Okay, groundhog, here I come. First things first, though. This might help you out, Al. I hope to God. I turned on CNBC Fast Money on Wednesday. I just want to see what they're talking about. I do that. It's good because you just hear about the topics. So what's going on? I can't know everything. That's why I also want other people to help with this strategy. I don't want to trade any other way. I am convinced this works for me. And all the crew on CNBC, right at the end, it was a 10-second clip at the max One of the last guys to say it is like, oh, and buy silver. And then every cast member was like, yes, buy silver. They didn't say precious metals. They didn't say gold. They specifically said silver. They also see this coming. I wouldn't doubt if those guys use this strategy with the stochastics. Keep your head in the game. If you are thinking bearish about any of this, I have a personal opinion. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm trying to bring you to the dark side. I think you are behind the curve. My psychology is bull. I cannot be more confident. I have stressed this from the very beginning. I have not changed the rules once. I have stuck with my reasons for purchasing. I still see them. We are on schedule, whatever that schedule is. This is going to happen. I cannot be more confident. I can't.
There won't be any money. But when you die, on your deathbed, you will receive total consciousness. So I got that going.